Ladies and gentlemen, in today's video we're going to be going over another team that is very high in the leaderboard. This player is still on page 1, although they have not hit legend. When I made this, or rather when I played these battles, he was currently rank 5, then dropped to rank 15, then back to 5, and currently is, I'll just say, top page of the leaderboard still. Because I don't want to go over their names since they haven't hit legend yet. I don't know if they're still using the team, but yeah, this team's really interesting. A lot of fast attack pressure, along with, I guess, the RPS style of a Skarmory. But Skarmory is very good in the meta, obviously, able to hit the Gligar, and basically farm it down without any repercussions. So that's saying a lot, considering considering I've always touted Gligar as the #1 safe swap or energy lead mon in Open Great League. So the team is going to be Shadow Dragonite in lead, basically a safe lead, and being very high damage pressure, kind of the same way Shadow Dragonair is, except you also have that flying subtyping to possibly give you some extra resistances to things, although at the same time it also takes away or gives you some more weaknesses. So that's really interesting. And then in the back is going to be, we've already just said it, was Skarmory, and then also Water Gun Lanturn. So this is the first time I think that I'm using Water Gun Lanturn, because I never had the nameplate, so I had to remake that one. But yeah, we are going to be showing this team, and without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. But first, if you haven't, definitely hit that subscribe button. It helps me out so much on the channel. Also, I went to like a collector's expo today. Maybe y'all care, maybe you don't. But I got this sweet like metal die. It is so heavy, but it is a Mega Gengar. So cool. Well, maybe it's not Mega, but it is pretty sweet. Alright. Also, it's so heavy. This is like a pound. Seriously, this die is like a pound. I can just feel the weight. Anyways, enough with that. Let's go ahead and get into the video. I also got some cards. Maybe I'll show them at the end of the stream, since it's taking up too much time here for people that may not care about it. All right, let's get into it. First lead of the day here, Shadow Gligar. I wish it was Shadow Gligar. Anyways, Shadow Dragonite into Annihilate. Let's get it. All right, I mean, it's an okay matchup. They're just going to basically go for Night Slash right away. Makes sense. I'm going to shield the first one, and then I'm going to try to get as much energy as I can before throwing the Dragon Claw, because I think one Dragon Claw will KO. And if they decide to shield this, I'll shield and farm all the way down, which is great for me in the sense that Shadow Dragonite has won the lead. One of the things you really need to be scared of is a Azumarill. But any of the steel types are really tough for this team. I'm not going to deny that. Yeah, something like a Alolan Sandslash lead can be very tough to work against, because you really want to be in there with the Lanturn. But it's okay. Skarmory still does neutral with the Steel Wings, and, well, really bad for its charge attacks. But this Alolan Sandslash stayed in there a long time, I guess wanting me to use energy before coming in with their Feraligatr and then getting a lot of energy here. This is actually tougher than it seems, because now they get this big farm down, and my Dragonite's basically in Hydro Cannon range. I'm pretty sure Shadow Feraligatr KOs from here, and I decide that I need to do a lot of damage to this thing before I come in with my Skarmory, because if they shield this, I'm only going to be able to farm it down, and I'm going to hope to not get hit. Oh, they actually let it through. I'm going to try to catch a move here now, because since this is a Shadow Claw variant of the Alolan Sandslash, you can actually take hits on the Dragonite, so I just need to have a little bit more fast attack pressure in the back, but it was fine. We had enough fast attack pressure here in the front. So they end up switching into a Lanturn here, and I can decide to stay in here, and I really would like to, because if I can get my Water Gun Lanturn onto their Skeledirge, that's very good. So I have two things good against the Skeledirge, but I need to make sure that I win this lead, or this swap, because I can't have my Skarmory against Skeledirge for obvious reasons. It is a Fire type mon against a Steel type mon, and wow, I almost just said something crazy. And yeah, it's gonna be fire super effective against steel. So, all right, Shadow Dragonair or Dragonite, sorry, now able to get that shield back. I'm fine going into this Poliwrath. The thing is, I have to come in with the Skarmory since I do know that it is the Skeledirge in the back. The good thing about this is Lanturn is good against both, and they actually do switch. If they had stayed in, things could have gotten a little awkward. Technically, 2 Scalds don't KO, but they would have had a lot more counter damage, and maybe I get countered down before I get to 2 moves, and so then they would have enough to maybe Icy Wind this Lanturn, and I don't know if that would have changed anything, but now we're in an amazing position. If they come back in with if they just let this go, rather, which they probably really would never do, yeah, I mean, we're going to get hit here, but it doesn't KO, and we get to farm this all the way down, because even though Incinerate is a fantastic move, it does take a very long time for it to get to its moves. So the first cycle is 3 to a Shadow Ball, then 2, then 3. I'm sorry for the, yeah. Anyways, Charge-a-Bug is fine for us there. I decide to stay in this matchup a little bit longer than maybe I should. Yeah, we have a Steel type. We probably should just go right into it. But the Thunder Punch here is actually very annoying when given a little bit of energy lead. So once we already made the decision or the indecision to not switch to Skarmory, we have to stick to that indecision. And we did get a shield, which is fine. We're probably going to get a shield back against the Charge-a-Bug. We can go 5 Steel Wings here because it does take them 3 Volt Switches to get to a discharge, and we don't really care if they hit us with an X-Scissor. It's double resisted. So I do get to farm up a ton here. I go for the Brave Bird, hoping that this extra farm can get me to another move. And in fact, we actually were able to land the Brave Bird, which gets it very low. The question is, I think I'm going to bring in the Dragonite and maybe just let this go and have the Water Gun Lanturn against 2 things here. So Water Gun Lanturn is decent against Charge-a-Bug. They're going to get a Volt Switch here, not a Volt Switch, a X-Scissor here. I'm going to shield just to maintain a little bit of HP. This is probably like 25-30% HP. And then it's a Zoom Roll in the back. Now, since we do have Water Gun, this is a much tougher matchup than obviously having Spark. But it's not a bad matchup by any means. You still just win as the Lanturn in the ones. So, yeah, we're going to go for the Thunderbolt here. Technically, I could have gotten 1 more Water Gun in. I got 1 in, and then I don't know if I can't remember these battles. These were actually from like 3 or 4 days ago. No, it was 3 days ago because they were on the leaderboard 3 days ago. Yeah. No, well, then it's probably 2 days ago, actually. Yeah. These battles are from 2 days ago, so I really don't remember them that well. Yeah, I don't think this Thunderbolt's going to KO. Azumarill is a very bulky bunny, so I'm just going to be able to get to a Surf, I believe, before they can even get to the next move still, because we've really managed our energy quite well here. And this is what good energy management can do. I mean, we already were ahead in this battle, but, you know, just basically closing everything out and making sure nothing terrible happens. All right, they do switch into the Mandibuzz. I don't know what I did here. I actually do remember this battle because I was like, am I an idiot? Why did I stand so long on the Dragonite? Well, now I feel like I'm really required to go for this superpower. The whole time I was like, it could be a Skarmory in the back, so I won't bring in Lanturn. And then I literally throw the superpower and I throw in Lanturn. I don't know. It's just idiotic. But anyways, I literally told myself not to. I just get annoyed at myself sometimes. I literally was telling myself not to do this. Then when I switched in, I was like, what am I doing? Anyways, we do get a big farm down here, which is nice, and since we are the Water Gun variant, we will be able to do a little bit of damage to the Quagsire. We might even see the last Mon, but I really do think it is going to be the Skarmory. I actually can't remember what it is in the back, but even if it is Skarmory, it's okay. But I'm afraid of like an Aqua Tail farm down here from the Quagsire. Although they do let us get 2 moves off, I'm very certain they're going to shield this move, which is going to give them a huge energy advantage here when they decide to go for this massive farm down. Luckily, they don't go for the full farm down, but they obviously, as you can see here, got an extra 4 mud shots in. They're going to be basically at the Stone Edge. And I figure they're not going to bait, but Yeah, they don't end up baiting. I'm going to try to go for farm down. They end up coming in with a Cresselia. We get saved like crazy. I farm up a ton because this matchup's so dominant. I don't care what they throw at us. But really, when they bring in a flyer like Mandibuzz, you got to think about... And if I had followed my own advice that I'm about to give, we would have lost this game. But it doesn't matter because you got to play the odds. The odds of a Quagsire being paired up with a Skarmory is very high. And something like an ABB comp double flyer also makes sense. So I probably should have been thinking, why are they trying to bait out the Lanturn and really try to play around that if possible. And Skarmory's okay into the Mandibuzz matchup. Obviously, Lanturn is the best. And again, you can't be results oriented like this matchup, or that's the way I play the game at least. I play odds, and the odds that this was a Cresselia in the back was probably very low, and the odds that it was a Skarmory was very high. So we got lucky here, but I wouldn't play it like this normally. All right, Magnezone in the front. I figure I can do a lot of damage here with Dragon Breaths, but I really should have thrown in between there because now they can just go for a Mirror Shot for free. And I really don't like that. And then they waited a turn and then came in with Feraligatr. I can't believe they waited a turn. I wanted to throw in between there. My own fault for throwing right away. I do end up throwing this move right away afterwards. They can decide to shield or not, and then I should probably switch into Lanturn. I should switch? Ooh. Okay, I'm going to come in with Lanturn because I resist basically everything. They almost always want to go for Hydro Cannon here. They might get a second one off. I wasn't counting here again in this video, in the making of video here, or the editing video, whatever you want to call it, the shoutcasting video. But they don't make it to another Shadow. Ooh, I am able to farm down. This is probably GG based on... Oh my god. Yeah, we're super good against Gligar. Alright, Mantine. So, both Armon in the back are really good against Mantine, but I'd rather just win the switch. Or I could throw this move and then switch into something. Okay, I like switching into Skarmory here because Skarmory is technically the less hard counter to this thing. So it's probably got less of a counter in the back. At least that's what we're hoping for. If they decide to throw another Water Pulse into us, I don't really care too much about this. We'll still have something like 15 to 20% HP here. Looks like we actually have like 25%. And I can build up to a Sky Attack. I actually go for CMP, but they don't go for the CMP, which makes sense. They would lose CMP anyways. And they're just going to let the Mantine go down. They have a Vigoroth in the back. I'm just going to throw straight Brave Bird here. I kind of want to get out of this matchup as soon as possible. That way it doesn't get too much farm. So we drop our defense by 2 stages. Probably going to come back in with this Dragonite, probably shield once and try to farm this down. And we should be able to see what the last Mon is here with 2 of our Mons still remaining. One at full health, one at 70% health. Ends up being a Hakamo-O. And I got kind of scared there. I probably should have thrown a... I'm pretty sure there's a Brick Break. I probably should have thrown a Dragon Claw into this, but I don't know, I was scared I was taking so much damage that I didn't really know what to do there. And then I throw a Surf. This is a known Surf, so if he decides not to shield, that's up to him. But his Hakamo is getting pretty low. I probably do have to shield this one. It could be a Dragon Claw, which would maybe KO us with our defense drop from the Brick Break. I have to look at the switch timers. I think they're going to try to throw the next move and then swap. So whenever switch is up, I'm switching instantly. I don't care what's happening. I think they're going to try to switch as well. They do end up switching, and we don't get there. But I'm so close to a move that we're going to go for CMP here, and that's going to be GG because Dragonite wins CMP against almost everything in this league. I'm not exactly sure what it loses against that's in the meta. I have a feeling nothing. What is the highest things for attack in this meta? So could be Feraligatr, I don't know. Anyways, that's going to be it for the video. I'm going to show y'all what cards I got though. If y'all want to see any, if you don't want to watch anymore, that's good for you. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and if you're still here to look at these cards that I've gotten, they're pretty sweet. Again, there was like a collector's expo today. So we got the Ultra Ball, International NAIC Staff Ultra Ball, graded 10. We got the Electabuzz promo. Actually, they came in like a bundle of 4 for the promos. So we got the Electabuzz, we got the Mewtwo. These are the movie promotionals, which I actually saw the movie when I was a kid. I think it came out in 99. Actually, it probably says on here. I think, yeah, oh yeah, it came out in 99. I watched this as a kid. I remember the Mewtwo coming out in the movie, and then Dragonite. So pretty sweet cards. I also got this random other non-Pokemon Go card. It's Caitlin Clark, 10, Iowa. Pretty sweet. I really liked. It was a $10 fee. Oh shoot, it was a $10 fee to enter, and I'd never been to anything like that before, so that was pretty cool. Yeah. Anyways, thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Again, this team was rank 5. And still is page 1 of the leaderboard. So this is a good team to use if you are still looking for a team here in the second week of Open Great League in a row. All right, I'll see y'all later.